Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't changed side.
First off, I want to start off with prayers up to Big Joe. And because, they talking about that
Yeah,
man
I just
got,
saw that.
yeah, so he got, what is that, prostate cancer?
Yeah.
So you got stage 4, I think.
Stage
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, shoot.
Yeah. Go ahead. My bad, Mo. I didn't know you was.
No, you good. I was just about to say, yeah, prayers up to that man,
Yeah, that's rough, bro. And hold on. Am I lagging at all? Y'all hear me?
Oh, you're not lagging.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, nah, I had just seen that like a couple hours ago or whatever. But that's crazy to it's like we were just talking about like life be kind of random like that, like to be president, you know what I mean? A couple years ago, well, just last year, earlier this year technically, and found out some news like that, yeah, prayers out to, you know what I mean, to Joey B.
Yeah, it's it's a tough situation, man. It's definitely sensitive for me because that's just what happened to my uncle earlier this year. And from the time that he found out to the time that he was gone, it was 3 weeks. So
Damn.
yeah, so like for
All
the
that.
family,
That's crazy.
no, you good. For the family and everything, just want to make sure that they're good, everything, and everybody that's ever worked with him throughout his political career, and then all the American citizens that have met him and connected with him, built a bond with him over the years, campaigning on the grounds throughout the country. Definitely want to pray for all of them. But yeah, when they put aggressive cancer in the headline, I already kind of knew what time it was. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but
Well, hold on, let me go see if I can. My bad. Let me see if I can go. If I can get my laptop to work again real quick. 'Cause I think it might be able to work now. Hold on a second.
okay, yeah. So yeah, so that's really what I think with that situation. Um, I think his presidency was attempting a lot of diversity, more than I think any other prior president. And even though a lot of stuff might not have come to fruition, I appreciate the attempts and the passion for it, and even just the openness to want to try. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, yeah, let me listen to a Hispanic woman. Let me listen to a gay black woman. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he was even open to listening to that, I felt like was very admirable in my opinion, because a lot of people, especially the older you get, you kind of go, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Facts.
So for Joe to be open to stuff like that, like I always appreciated that about him. Because I think people get on Obama a lot for him not getting able to get stuff passed, and then obviously his relations with international places of attacking them and being the aggressor in war and everything like that. People get on him for that a lot and say like he ain't do much for the black community, da da da. And people expected him to do everything for the black community because he was black.
Right.
But Joe Biden did a lot, man. Joe Biden did a lot for black people and was fighting for black people. Him and Kamala Harris, where Kamala was focusing on maternal rights for black women and things of that sort. It was a lot of things that they were doing for the black community that people just didn't know about or weren't paying attention to, because they don't really pay attention to anything except for like the extreme moments, like when somebody says something crazy or signs something crazy.
Right.
And I think that is kind of a dangerous game. It's a slippery slope to play, for real, for real. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I think all in all, it's like it just hits home for me. Because and then also with that presidency, like covering it, it was just a perfect time because they had a black media coordinator at the White House. I don't know if I think she was probably the first ever one. Her name was Erica. Shout out to Erica Lowe. And she was cool. She's the one that got us into all the stuff and got us interviews with all the White House officials on a daily basis. And what else did I want to say about that? Like Jill sent me a Christmas card to the office, and I've never received, what I'm saying, anything like that from any president in any administration in my life. Like when I was a kid, I wrote to Obama like an email, and they sent me back a letter to the house, and it was just like a kind of a generic like, thank you for all the support, and you can do anything in life, like dream big, kid, best of luck. It's kind of like one of those things.
Right.
And it was whatever. But I felt like the Biden administration, they truly like kind of took that extra step in showing that they were trying with black people. With another thing I want to say about the administration, I didn't plan on getting everything out right now, but I was like, I might as well, I'll just post this on my page and stuff. But they always had like, what I'm saying, specific things they were fighting for with black people in the black community, and they always like voiced out what they wanted to do and what they already proposed and the work they already did to make sure that it got done. So like example, MLK Day, both of them come up to the AUC. Joe and Kamala, they come up to the AUC and they speak to the kids at the AUC. And so they're like, yo, we need to get the John Lewis Voting Rights Act passed. Like y'all need to, everybody up there up on the hill, they need to get it passed. So these kids and people of the black communities and cities like Atlanta and the inner city, like they don't have to deal with a lot of the voter suppression and all the loops that they had to go through in the 2020 election. Like we don't have that happen anymore in the big year 2024. And then Kamala to go down and work with Quavo kind of one-on-one, and for his foundation for Takeoff, the Rocket Foundation, which is against gun violence, for her to come down to Atlanta and speak on that about like, Congress, we need to pass these laws that I presented so and so years ago. Like this isn't a party thing, this is literally a human, so they were trying, and they were presenting stuff for the black community to get it done. I just think a lot of stuff just didn't go through, what I'm saying, for political party purposes and interests and things of that sort. But they were trying. And I know it's always like, it's not what you intended to do, but what you actually did. I get that. But it's just things that I saw kind of firsthand covering the administration that I always appreciated about them. So shout out to Joe Biden for real. And learning from his mistakes, like I said, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And I felt like he was opening after he made mistakes, like saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Or, what I'm saying? Like going on the Breakfast Club to pander to black people. He did a lot of things that was just like, we talked about it, right? On the last episode about how they had like fried chicken and I don't know if they had watermelon at the White House, but they had like fried chicken and Kool-Aid, and it was a thing on the campaign trail that people were like, okay, it was a controversy and stuff. But I felt like he's always kind of learned from those like dumb or risque things that he did that were kind of like just not reading the room and blind. Like he had the right people on his team to tell him like, no, this is how we could fix it in the future, and he fixed it. So shout out to Joe. I hope he gets the rest of his flowers while he can smell them. And prayers up to Jill. Prayers up to the entire family and the country, for real, for real. But regardless of where you stand, this is a sad thing. If it was Trump, I'd still be like, dang, like remember when Trump had COVID? I don't know if you could say COVID on YouTube in 2025. You couldn't in 2020. But when Trump had the coronavirus, like people was like, "Is he gonna die?" And I was like, "Bruh, if Trump dies, that's crazy, dog. Like, I don't want this man to die. Like, like now, right now, like in the middle of a campaign run. Like, that's kind of crazy."
Right.
So I think regardless of who it is, what political side they stand on, an ending like this is never a happy thing. Like if you die of anything other than old age, I feel like it's sad, bro. So
Facts.
yeah.
Most of the time. I mean, there's certain people I don't really, I would say 9 times out of 10, I definitely don't wish death upon people. Mostly just from like a karma standpoint of not wanting that to come back on me. But at the same time, like there are certain people that, you know what I mean, they do certain stuff. I don't necessarily feel bad if they, if they perish. You know what I mean?
Did y'all celebrate for Saddam Hussein?
I was like a teenager. I was like I think it was 2011.
I think Bin Laden was 2011.
Oh yeah, no, Saddam Hussein.
Hussein was like we were in 4th grade.
Yeah, I was more concerned about like SpongeBob and stuff like that.
Well, what about Bin Laden?
I was at Six Flags when that news broke, and I remember you would have thought it was like 4th of July or something. Like you could feel it in the air, bro. People was excited.
Yeah, I don't personally remember finding out the news, but I remember I was like, "Hey, my boy Obama doing it."
Obama in his bag right now.
Right.
I learned from like it was like I want to say NBC News, and it broke like late, but it was during the school year. Like Jelani saying, it was kind of like around the time of spring break. It was in the spring, and what happened? Oh yeah. Everybody was just hyped and stuff, and was like USA. So I was just like, I think I'll probably hit a little USA chant. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't changed